SRS, help, SRS. Hey there, guys. Joe Simons, like diamonds. Salt Drunk here. You're wondering, Joe, have you lost your mind? It's SOS. No, it's not. It's SRS, and I truly do need your help, and it's going to take less than 60 seconds. Here's the deal. We've been approached multiple times by these advertisers who want to advertise on our podcast. We've said no to all of them because here's what they want to do. They told us on a 30 to 40-minute show, they want to put 9 advertisements. That means like every few minutes it is going to abruptly stop, and you're going to have to sit through a dumb advertisement. We do not want you to put you through that. It's a bad user experience. We are here to impact as many people as possible. So instead of us taking advertising money, all we ask in return is you do this one thing. It's going to take 60 seconds. It's the SRS. It's subscribe. That takes literally 1 second. If you're on iTunes, pause it right now. You can hit subscribe. If on Stitcher, same thing. So subscribe is number 1. R is review. Just take a few seconds and review this podcast. That's the number 1 way that Apple shares and recommends this to as many people as possible. It helps us make a massive impact and make sure that we never have to put ads on here. And the other one is to share it with anyone you think might love this message. So SRS, subscribe, review, and share. It would mean the world to us, and it helps get this message out there and this podcast out to as many people as possible and keeps it completely ad-free. So here is the message in the podcast for today. Hope you enjoy it. And if you can, please, 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 SRS, help, subscribe, review, and share. Thank you guys. Love you. Talk to you soon.
Welcome to the Salt Strong Podcast, disrupting fishing entertainment as you know it. Prepare to laugh. Prepare to get to know fishing legends in a whole new and unfiltered way.
And on occasion, you might even learn a thing or two about fishing.
Here's your host, Joe Simons, like diamonds.
Hello, Salt Strong Nation. Joe Simons, like diamonds. Back again. Lukey, what's up, dude?
Not much. Ready to talk about an awesome new feature on smart fishing spots.
Yep, and that's why we've got Nick with us. Nick is now this is 5-6 podcasts. You're,
I know.
Quite the recurring, not host, recurring guest.
Well, every time we roll out a new feature, I'm on here.
So if you are watching this, you probably already saw the title. This is how to quickly, one of the easiest ways now to get every single reef, wreck, barge, anything you can imagine that's down there underneath the water from Texas all the way up. We're trying to get it all the way across the eastern coast. I think we're missing a couple states, but we're getting all of that. And it's amazing what some of these states, because they have all this data and they're doing a good job of collecting it and making it accessible to us to be able to pull in here. They show everything. They show what material it's made of. And we even have some color-coded basically those little dots to identify every spot. It's got the GPS coordinates, got what it's made of, how much of it is there, the depth. I mean, it's got all this crazy info. And we've personally used this to catch some fish. Nick has personally used this to catch some fish, even some nice fish like inshore. We're not going to give up that spot unless Nick is just dying to give up his honey hole. But this is all from the same spots that we're finding here. So if you're listening, you probably want to watch this, or if not, go in there in your own smart fishing spots. This is all part of smart fishing spots, if we weren't clear on that. And that is something that's complimentary to our insider members. And if you don't have it, then you should probably stop what you're doing right now and sign up. But if you're watching it, Nick is about to here in 3, 2, 1-ish. Probably click a little button and spots will appear. It's going to look like a little kid with a severe case of chickenpox. Maybe one of the worst cases ever. There's so many red dots.
Yeah, so let me, I'll just walk you through. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to our layers tool right here, and we just click on the menu here, and then click on layers, and then you can see all our different layers. And now there's a new one called artificial reefs. And then once I click this, I can zoom into an area that I'm interested in, and it's going to start highlighting all of the reefs in this view. And then to the left here, at the bottom left, we've got the legend. So it'll tell us if it's an artificial reef, if it's a barge, or if it's a ship. And then those dots correspond with that color, so you know what it is. So I can zoom in here a little bit more, and I can click this one, and it'll tell me exactly what the reef structure is, what the depth, the relief, that's the side or the height off the floor, of the ocean there, and then longitude and latitude, the reef size, the date it was deployed. So any information we have on that reef, we're going to include it in this info window. So I can just kind of navigate around and show you what they look like. So this is now
Man,
getting up
look at that
into the
cluster up there in the
yeah
Pensacola
this
area. Holy
this
smokes.
this is getting up into the Panhandle area, and it's loaded. And these are all different kinds of reefs. We've got let's see, not sure what these are, but there's 23 tons of it, and it's in 134 feet, and it rises up about 6 feet off the floor bed.
Yeah, what's amazing, I've been using it out of St. Pete. If you zoom in, Nick, and get in
Hmm.
this is the same platform that has the high res bottom relief imagery. And so you can literally, at least for off St. Pete, I assume the ones over there, but I've been using it where I can zoom in and I can see where every little item is. And that way, when I'm positioning myself, because it works on the phone, and I've been getting out on the 7 Mile Reef off of St. Pete, and I can literally see exactly where I am relative to the tanks that are down there, which are big blocks, and then the small like pilings and stuff. Really amazing how you can see not only just where it is on this high, the high overview, but you can really zoom in and see exactly where those items are. So a little bit north of Egmont, Nick.
Is it north of Egmont?
Yeah, the one I've been
There's
going to, but there's another one
okay.
right there. That one's really small. So the one north of Egmont is just really cool because you can just see the scattering of it and just make sure you're right there in the middle.
Is this it? Okay.
Yep. Yeah. So
Wow,
I
man,
can.
look at that.
Yeah. So because there the phone access is great, so I can literally be on the phone. You can see that big old tank right there.
Oh
Loaded
yeah,
right.
Army tank.
Yeah. So, and then on the south side is a bunch of little smaller stuff. But just it's just really cool to be able to see what's down there. Whereas before it was all a guessing game. Now you can literally see from the comfort of your own home, but you can't actually take it on the water, just to make sure that you're exactly where you think you're supposed to be.
But
Super
you're
helpful.
still exporting this stuff, or you have the ability to, right, Luke, to put it on your unit for your boat.
Yeah, for that one, I mean, I already have it on there, so I didn't bother doing that. But for new ones that I go to, I just pick like the four corners, and I just upload that into the GPS unit. That way, I know as long as I'm within those four, within that quadrant, then I'm in the right area.
Exactly. So like when you do your pre-trip, you could just go in here in the routes and create a route and go from, each little artificial reef that you're going to go to, and then export that and put it into your fish finder, your chart plotter.
Yeah, next level, right? So like years before, it was just really guessing. You kind of get, oh yeah, I got the longitude of this reef, but it's rare that it's just one spot. It's usually a variety of spots, and usually the best areas are away from the main GPS coordinates that you can probably get online. And then when you use this, you can really pinpoint a lot of the parts of it that are a little bit off on the edges. Those seem to hold the most big fish that are
Look at
willing
that.
to eat. Yeah, that's awesome right there.
Yeah, this
So,
area is just loaded. This is decking and rails from bridges.
and you can just see them down there. That's crazy.
Yeah, so this is really just combined just the location aspect of it, which a lot of other areas have, but then it combines it with the bottom layer to make it something that I don't know if I've never seen this before anywhere else, and it
Yeah,
is
I
just
haven't.
incredibly helpful.
Yeah, I haven't either. Where you have the artificial reefs and the high res layers, the bathymetric views.
So it
So
takes a lot of widgetry from Nick here, but it really results in just an amazingly helpful platform. This is because I'm still new to this nearshore reef fishing, and this has been an absolute game changer. I don't even bother with live bait. I've just been using power bronze, and have been having an absolute blast out there.
yeah,
And you've been catching fish, Luke, as someone who, as you've said, you're not a near shore, offshore guy doing this kind of by yourself, if you will, using smart fishing spots and using lures. You can only imagine how many more, probably more fish. You obviously lose a whole lot more bait, but how many fish you'd probably be catching if you were out there, using squid or shrimp or something else. Crazy.
check this one out. 100-foot freighter seized by U.S. Customs. One of three sunk this day. Isn't that neat? It's got that kind of information.
I know.
2001.
Yes, now we're over on, for those listening, we're over on the Atlantic side, and there's just a lot of big ships out there. That's how deep is that? I guess it's
100,
only 120.
yeah.
And you can see them as clear as day. I mean, it's nuts that you can see the exact ship. Man.
Yeah, and so this information you can actually upload onto your phone. So if you are going to get, out of cell range, is you can actually hard code it on your phone and have it there. The GPS locator should work, or obviously get it into your depth finder unit, and it'll be there as well. But super helpful.
This kind of reminds me that.
Yeah,
Go
go
ahead.
for it. No, go for it.
I was just gonna say, this kind of reminds me of that Battleship game, where they got the pieces with little dots on it.
Does.
B4.
You sink my battleship. Crazy. So do you mind sharing, Luke, some just tips, or Nick, on exporting? Because I know it's a question that we've seen. I know we've done a couple of videos on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
I can do a quick little demo. So basically, with the route tool, you can create routes, right? So you just go over here, click this route button, click on new, and then from here you just start clicking, and you can actually click the areas that you want to go to, and you basically come up with your plan of where you're going to fish that day. And then when you're done, you hit finish route. Okay. You can add notes to each point. It gives you the longitude and latitude of each point. And when you're good with everything, you can save it. And I'm going to do, actually, I'm on local version here. Let me hop over.
Fancy pants.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe even pick some actual, go out to some of these reefs or wrecks where we actually do it.
Yeah, that's more the question is, because I know someone's going to see this. So, all right, I want the actual GPS spots of this reef.
So what do you want me to do? Sorry, I had to. That's my local development version. So what did you want me to do?
Let's just pretend we're going to go out of St. Lucie Inlet down there, and then all see that big old conglomerate of spots
right here.
Yeah, right there. And so let's just say we're going to go out and we want to fish like 8 or 9 of those spots that are all relatively close to each other. We want to just pinpoint. Let's say we want to go from south to north based on the currents and wind, and then how would we just pinpoint each one and then do that route?
Okay, so what I would do is go under routes tool, click on new, and then let's say we're going to come out of this inlet, and then you can click, and I can zoom in here and start clicking the different reefs that I'm going to go to.
Did we lose the clear bottom imagery? Gotta be able to see the stuff.
Yeah, if it's going a little bit slow, it's because we're on Zoom and doing this all over.
Yeah, I think it's my my local dev is.
There we go.
Just give me a minute here.
It was back. No, it's not. So what Nick is working on, if you're listening here, is he's got 2 sites essentially. He's got the development side where he's building stuff and then brings it into what we all see, and then he's got the normal, just logged in as a normal Joe Blow user.
I think he might have overwhelmed his computer.
Yeah, I think
I've got mine ready to rock. I can do it if need be. Yeah, I'll
sonar.
It might be. Hold on a second. Oh yeah, I don't have high res for that area. So no, we're good. We just don't have high res for St. Lucie. So where do you want me to go next?
So talk about how we export them. So I guess the question I'm asking is, how can we make it easy for our users to export an instance, not having to do a route? Is there a way to do it where they just get every spot? I mean, I know that's out there where they could put it right into their unit, like the actual GPS.
Yeah, we can certainly set it up to export everything that's in here for all the artificial reefs.
Yeah.
We haven't built it yet because we just launched this yesterday, but we could set up something to export them. Or you can create, like back what we were saying, you can actually create a route to the spots. And I'll do that real quick, and then hit finish, and then you can save it. So now it's saved, and then I can export and choose my podcast route, and then you choose your format that your GPS device wants, and then hit export GPX or KML file if you want to do that.
Yeah, it's really not hard. It probably looks or sounds tougher than it is. I did it before we had directions for it, just to figure it out, and it was actually really easy. You just have to know if most units are that DMX type file.
Yep.
And you just get it, put it on a little card, and put that card in your unit, and it's there. You just have to obviously upload it real quick from the unit. That was the toughest part, is figuring out the unit side of it. The easiest part is getting on the chip.
Exactly.
So cool. So how many total spots?
So right now we have almost 6,500 artificial reefs loaded.
Crazy. It's a lot of fish.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fish. And it was wild. I just got back from the Bahamas, and it was a perfect day. First day we went out, you could see the bottom, and we're in 25, 30 feet of water. So I mean, you could literally see everything. And we're kind of going slow. We had a spot. It was a ship that was there, and it's just sand, like a lot of these places right off Florida. It's just sand. It's barren. You don't see anything. And then all of a sudden, we saw the shadow of this ship down there in 30 feet of water, and it was not. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen. It was 100% loaded with fish. I mean, the second we even sort of messing with the chum bag, it was like these fish knew. All of a sudden, you just saw this fish show, and it was absolutely crazy. I'll have to get some of the footage to show you guys in a separate video, but it was nuts. And we just caught fish till we were tired. And Power Prawn caught some of the bigger fish, which was pretty cool. Didn't catch as many. There's a lot of little small grunts and stuff like that, but the Power Prawn was catching legit keeper grouper, big mangrove snapper, and a little strawberry grouper. Really, really
Nice.
Cool. Yeah.
What jig head did you have rigged on?
That would a half ounce of the football jig head, the Haas
Nice.
half ounce there, and then we went deeper and 50 feet and caught some big fish. And I used the same Haas, but do we have 1 ounce?
Just came in. Yep.
It wasn't 1 ounce, and it was whatever the next
3/4.
probably 3/4. Yeah.
Yeah, I just can't believe how many reefs are off there off the Panhandle. Like just out of Panama City, there were an absolute ton of.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Well, you know what? That's your boy Alex Fogg. Remember him?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He's the lionfish killer, and that's part of his job with FWC is to deploy these ships and containers and old blocks. And they did like 180 of them in a short amount of time, all off of Panama City to like Pensacola area. So I guarantee if you look at some of those, they're all probably in the last 5 to 6 years. There's going to be a cluster of them. Might be that one off Mexico Beach there. I mean, that's crazy.
And Nick,
Yeah.
is there high res in that area?
Yeah, there is. Sure. I think so.
Curious to see what some of those things are. So the blue is barge, right? So there must be some big old stuff down there.
Yeah, you can kind of see it. It's right there. There's the battleship.
Oh yeah, sure enough. That's crazy. So amazing that you can
There's
actually see it.
Steel barge and scrap steel, it looks like. And then there's tires on this side.
Almost feel bad for the fish. They don't stand a chance. You see all their hideouts.
Have you seen videos of when they sink some of these old container ships and stuff? We were researching getting all the information for this. I saw a video where they just sunk one of this. I don't know. It was like a 250-foot freighter. It's impressive when they send that thing down. It's really, really cool.
Yeah, but kids don't try that at home.
No.
Obviously, a lot goes into that. They have to make sure there's nothing there. Obviously, gas tank, anything that would have chemicals or anything that could contaminate has obviously been removed, and it's basically just steel at that point.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is really fascinating. Yeah, it's really fascinating.
Little dog.
And speaking of cool views, if you haven't seen this 4K view, it is sick. I mean, it reminds me of TV back in the old days. If you ever go back to like the old tube TV, like if you're at someone's hunting camp or something, and all they have is an old school one, and you're like, how did we used to watch sports and things on an old school TV before HD? Right now, every TV has HD now, even 4K, 5K, and that's what it reminds me of. I mean, Google is excellent, Google satellite maps, but the 4K puts Google to shame. It is crazy, and Nick added Bing in there also, but this 4K, this is something that companies that sell the same kind of stuff are charging a lot of money for them. They'll charge $100 just for a region, not to mention the whole state be thousands of dollars, and we're giving it to our members completely complimentary in the Smart Fishing Spots app, and it works on your phone, works on your tablet, works on your pooter. It works everywhere, and it just keeps getting better every single day. I made Luke laugh there; he liked that.
Yeah, so this is Nick. If you toggle back on the normal Google map and then go to this high res,
Look at that.
Not even close. The normal Google map I used to think was good or great. I used to think it was amazing, and then when you compare it to this high res, the 4K, it's a whole different ball game. You can see everything. It is absolutely amazing.
All right, so go back to Google now, Nick. Look at that. That's crazy.
Here's Bing.
Bing's a little bit better.
Google.
Oh, like putting polarized glasses on for the first time.
Yeah, it's basically what it's like. It's like having glasses, and again, the really cool thing is that now with this one platform, we have 3 different maps, and it's all just one tap away for everything. So there are some areas that don't have this 4K, and for that you have the option of Google and Bing right there at your fingertips, and then pretty much where 4K is available, that's going to be the best one.
So just to be repeated, because I know not everyone listens to every podcast, Nick, let's go through everything here on these layers. Just so everyone knows, we already talked about the reefs. We've shown the 3D, we've shown the marine, which sonar, and then normal satellite to the 4K. We also have every boat ramp. We got seagrass, oyster beds, and then the smart spots, which is really why this platform got the name Smart Fishing Spots. So kind of go through each one and show everyone what it looks like.
Sure. So do you want to go up starting with smart spots?
Sure.
So here are the smart spots, and maybe Luke wants to explain what these are.
Yeah, so the smart spots, this is some just intelligence we have in the platform. It looks at the time you're going to be fishing. So that bottom little scroll bar is going to be the day that you're going to be out there and the time. And then based on the current flow, based on the wind direction, based on the wind speed, the season, it factors in all those equations. This is real-time weather forecast we're talking about, not like the old map you buy in Walmart that has a fixed spot that says you need to go there. This is actually reactionary to the currents and weather. And so that for whatever given time you're going to be fishing, this will highlight the areas that are most likely to have the most feeding fish, right? It's obviously not going to be perfect, as nothing will, but this is the most accurate spot forecasting platform that is really that I've ever seen, because it actually reacts to the real-time weather forecast. And I believe is it 14-day out, Nick, if I remember right?
Yes, that's 2 weeks.
I rarely actually plan that far ahead. It's usually going to be like 1 or 2 days out that I start using it. But so you can plan 14 days out. Obviously, the weather changes, and so will the spots. So I usually do it the night before or the morning of, and sometimes when I'm on the water. Right, if I'm on the water, nothing's working. All right, backup plan. Let's see some other spots to go try out. So it's been really helpful. And it's had some amazing reviews. Seen a lot of people going out catching their first slams, simply by just using this new feature.
Yep, and the testimonials are just coming in every day. Of to your point, Luke. Oh my gosh, just got my first slam, or I'm brand new to the area. We have seems to be a lot of people moving, down to Florida and into Texas, and just the South in general. And feel like, man, I moved here. I've fished in, let's just say, New York, New Hampshire my whole life. Didn't know what I was doing. I used their Smart Fishing Spots, and like, holy smokes, just had one of my best days ever. So cool to see that happen. Whoa, what, Nick, are you doing? You're going out of control.
I'm adding more layers. So I added
Look at that.
oyster beds and seagrass along with smart spots.
Yeah, some people, don't like to have the spots highlighted, and that's cool. And I personally don't. I like to find my own. But the amazing thing on this is just knowing where the oysters and or grass are is crucial for finding the best spots. And so this just makes it easier for you, right? It has all the oyster bars loaded. You can literally tap the oyster layer, and now you'll see all of the oysters highlighted in this bright white. And so that has been my favorite thing for at least around Tampa Bay, Charlotte Harbor, pretty much the whole Gulf Coast of Florida, that doesn't have a whole ton of oysters. If you find some oysters, you're going to be on some fish. And this literally makes it where you will absolutely get into some good spots simply by just following that. And you can see the oysters over the different type of layers, like Nick is showing. This has the marine chart where it shows the depths and the depth contours. Or you can use the regular Google map. You can use the regular Bing map, or you can use the 4K in this area. And it's amazing. Again, I just wish this was available, 15, 20 years ago when I was having to learn everything the hard way. Really amazing platform.
Yeah, it was that one little area there. It nixed off of it now, but it had a bunch of oyster clusters and
Yep.
then grass around it, and then a little cut where it went from like 2 feet to 10 feet. Right. So that's usually a sign. It's kind of in between two little islands there. It's up kind of your top center. And that would be like a spot I would definitely be trying out
Yeah.
a little bit. Yeah, that area and a little bit higher. It went up to 10 feet in that one little cut. So, there's, there's
Right.
current. Yeah. There's a lot of moving water.
There's a
And
point
it's
too.
got everything you possibly could ask for right there.
And guess where I caught a ton, where I filmed a bunch of videos when I lived in Pine Island and Bokeelia, right there. Like literally that cut, like that time I took Otis out the first day we got the Slam Shady paddle tail.
Yep.
I caught a redfish, like literally on the top part of that grass. And then on the other side of that mangroves, when I caught that grouper that got me way up in the mangroves and got him out. And then had some good topwater snook action on that Mondongo rocks down there. So like, again, we literally just picked a random spot, followed the oysters, and this led us to like one of my favorite spots that I used to fish over in that area.
So sick. And we're adding more stuff every day. Literally, that's why this thing keeps getting smarter. So it'll look different next week. It'll look different next year, et cetera. And it's using human intelligence plus artificial intelligence. So we got our fishing coaches are in here every day, adding new spots. And then the system, basically how we built it is to basically pick the spots on all these different variables, including what season it is. Luke mentioned a lot of the other ones. And we're getting new data in, depending on exactly what it is, every 15 minutes to an hour, worst case, I believe. And so all this is updating constantly just to give you every advantage possible. And we've had some people who've said, "Oh, this is unfair," right? All right, if this fishing's never going to be that easy where this is just unfair, right? And you're just going to catch a slam every time you hit the water. But we do want advantages, right? I wanted every advantage possible. Same reason that you might have a troll motor. Same reason you might have a boat over wading boots. We all want every advantage possible. Our time is so valuable. We're all, got so many things going on in our lives. When I hit the water and I get a hall pass, and same with you, I'm guessing if you're like me, you want to maximize your time. And that's what this is about. It's about giving you every advantage possible to make sure that you got tight lines and that you don't come home looking like the person who didn't catch anything, smelling like a skunk. It's not fun. And we've all been there. So that is our goal, is that you are catching fish, getting tight lines, coming back with memories, coming back with a phone filled with fish pics, and not just a memory of a sunset and wishing that you caught a fish. Call that a skunk set.
Yeah, not good. Say no to skunk sets. And this is legit spots too. Like I won't say which one it is, but my biggest snook I've ever caught on artificial is 42 inches, and it is in one of the yellow highlights there in the screen right now. So you can literally follow these spots and get yourself into some really good fishing. And obviously, we part of the club, we train you on how to find your own spots, which is always going to be better to actually know exactly why every spot is good. But for somebody getting started out, this is just a huge hurdle to really start getting into some really good spots quickly. But we do recommend for part of being in the club, you get the Finding Spots Mastery course, and that'll lay the groundwork on exactly how to predict exactly where those fish are going to be feeding.
Yep. And so a lot of this stuff is available if you want to pay thousands of dollars, literally, to have all this stuff at your fingertips. I mean, the 4K view and then the 3D kind of underwater view. I mean, those are out there available, but it's all from companies who charge, and usually it's about $100 per region. And once again, we're giving it to you the entire. We're working on the whole country, but for now, it's really Texas, all the way up the East Coast, where the majority of our 35,000 members are. And this is all complimentary to our insider members. Just another way to thank you and add more value to our members, on top of the tackle discounts and on top of the insider reports that we're doing every single day, and on top of the amazing community where people are sharing what's happening in their area and sharing what's working. This is it's something we built it because it's something we wished we had when something I wish I had today, right? It's something that we really wish we had when we were starting out, and we were weekend warriors and didn't have that much time to fish, and half the times were frustrating and the other half were pretty good, and we're like, man, why can't it just be easier? It's got to be some shortcuts. And those maps didn't work. I mean, none of the stuff really worked. And so we created this because we are anglers like you, and we know exactly what we want. And Nick was pulling up some weather stuff as I was talking, and we said, all right, well, let's not just solve the spots and show oyster bars and grass. Let's also give every single weather tool you can imagine. And that was just from listening to our members saying, hey, what apps are you using to go fishing? And obviously we teamed up with Windy, and because you're not going to be able to beat Windy at the wind part of it. And so it's literally the Windy app on there, or not the Windy app. It's the Windy data. That's another layer. And It's got waves, clouds, temp, rain, radar, everything.
You can even see I use the radar a lot just to see if you see some clouds building up, just to know which way they're going, just to make sure that you're safe. That's a big safety factor, is just knowing the direction of storms, how big they are, and if they have lightning or not. And so this platform will help you navigate around that as well. And then obviously the tides as well. It has all the tides information. It's literally a one-stop shop for everything you need for inshore fishing. Is really what it was designed for. Now this reef stuff is making it incredibly helpful for the nearshore and offshore anglers as well. So this has now become a kind of full service, saltwater fisherman platform. Pretty powerful.
Yep. So go check it out. Like I said, we just launched these GPS spots, and it sounds like Nick will be working on making them super easy for you to export any and all of them if you want. But of course, you can do that right there in the tracks. And if you don't have access to this yet, what the heck are you waiting on? So I'm going to grab you by the hand and show you where to fish every trip. That's what we're doing. And that's just one of the things that we do in the Salt Strong Insider Club, which is why we have 35,000 members and growing every day. And we will be raising prices. We keep saying it. A lot of it, we want to make sure this is all, not perfect, because nothing's ever perfect, but we want to make sure that we have every feature possible on here, and then we will be raising the price. But if you join today, or if you're already a member and you've already joined, you're locked into your rate. Your rate will never change. It's the way we wish companies treated us, right? How cool would it have been to get in early on Amazon Prime and still only be paying $70 versus $130 right now. So that's what we're doing. We grandfather our members in as long as you're active, right? You can't leave and then come back. So it's a way to reward people who are loyal and stick with the club. But as long as you're an active club member, you're locking in your rate and grandfathered in for life, for as long as you're an active member. So make sure to get in now if you haven't already and get access to this. Pretty phenomenal. And like I said, as Luke said, we're doing it for inshore and nearshore, and now offshore as well, and a whole lot more stuff to come. Nick, anything else to add?
I think that's it for now.
Luke,
so the next update.
Anything else?
No, get it out. You try it, and we'd like to hear your feedback as well. Yeah. So get in there and just let us know what you love about it and what could be improved. And this is our main focus, is to make sure this is as awesome as possible. It's pretty stinking awesome right now. And we are going to continually make updates to it really throughout the year and beyond. So get in there, check it out, and we're here to make it even better for you.
Yeah, and if you are a member and you're wondering how do I get it, just log into saltstrong.com and it's right on the homepage. Just scroll down a little bit. You'll see the button where you can access it just like an app.
Easy breezy, lemon squeezy. All right, guys, we appreciate you big time, and we will talk to you on the next episode. Go to saltstrong.com. If you're a member, you'll see it there. If you're not a member, go to saltstrong.com, and you'll see a place to join us today to get unlimited access for an entire year, or hopefully for many, many years to come. But it is an annual type of membership. So, guys, we appreciate you big time, and we'll talk to you on the next episode. Peace.
See ya.
See ya.
Cause fishing, it's